I want to jump right into it and do a little bit of teaching from my perspective. And what I want to do is talk to you about producing to survive, but build to live, right? Producing to survive, but to build to live. Now, we're going to talk about producing to survive initially, because that's where most of you that are plugged in right now, that's where you are in the business. I want to talk to you about working personally, but while that's happening, you need to always be projecting your vision for the future. Now, yes, you've got to go out there and you've got to be the #1 field trainer. You got to be the one on the front line. You got to be the one that's really making it happen on a day-to-day basis. But as you are getting in front of these people, make sure you are talking about where you are going. And make sure you're talking to them about where they can be going. That's where the building to live will be. Understand when you're sitting in front of somebody that has the goodies, that something tremendous can happen in this business. You guys have heard Jeff Mallard talk about it so many times of when I came to his house to talk to him and Lolita, and I told him that if he followed me in business, he'd make no less than $500,000. He said, well, Joe, why you didn't say he was gonna make $1 million? Because I personally didn't believe that I could make $1 million yet. I know people talk about these things and these things become commonplace because you see a lot of your teammates accomplishing it. But to me, until you get to $500,000, it's good talk. So my projection was I could see myself at $500,000 when I sat down with Jeff Mallard. So I saw that he was a leader. So then I could see where he could get there as well. And look what has happened. Now your pen is supposed to pay your bills. See, I hear too many people, especially regional leaders and division leaders, talking about their team this, their team that, and their team gonna do this, and their team gonna do that. You ain't got no team. Your regional vice president has a team. You need to be focused on your own pen while attracting people into the business. And then when you got 20, 30 people on the regular training, then you can start talking about team. But before that, talk about how many points you scoring, how many rebounds are you getting, how many assists are you getting, not are we gonna do this, are we gonna do that. See, Primerica will tell you talk we. I'm telling you right now, you better be talking I until you start to build an organization. Overrides are for people over RVP. I'm going to say this one more time for those of you that think you're in a different business than you're actually in. Overrides are for people over RVP. You can't make no money, below RVP, talking about overriding a team. Keep working, stay focused. You need to write 5,000 to 10,000 personally. Always understand, because of the computer, 10,000 personal is the new 5,000 and 20,000 is the new 10. For 5 months in a row before we moved to Houston, right? For 5 months in a row, we wrote 20,000 personally. I got to get back to it, Camilla. I got to get back to it. My income is down. I got to get back to it. But the thing is because, and you say, man, you was really out here working. How you going to call working sitting down? Listen, I lived my life today. One of the things I did for moving to Texas, I lived my life today in shorts. I'm in shorts, sometimes sweatpants. I'm going to kill them from the waist up. When I do the daggum op meeting or the webinar, dadgummit, I'm suited and booted up here. Dadgummit here is not very impressive. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Don't stop telling me that you out here working when we sitting here at a computer, sharing information with people, taking less time to get the same thing accomplished. You need to write 5,000 to 10,000 personal. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're not doing that, stop talking to your regional vice president about the fact that you're going to be an RVP. If you're not out here getting 2 to 4 directs minimum, stop using, take those letters out of the vocabulary, spell all your words without an R, a V, and a P in it. When you go to typing a letter or you go to post on Facebook, don't put an R, don't put a V, and don't put a P. Why? Because you're not working. Let's stop. Listen, I'm just representing you guys as leaders on the council right now. I'm going to get these district divisions and regional leaders to stop lying lying to y'all and stop lying to yourself. Once you start writing 5 to 10,000 on a consistent basis, once you start getting those 2 to 4 directs, now you are positioning yourself. As Jeff says, you'll be next in line, right? Well, you can't be in the line if you ain't doing 5 to 10,000 personal. You need to stay on the sidelines. Now what we need to do is double-digit recruit, but I'm gonna bust your bubble on double-digit recruiting. I'm something called a truth teller. It's just the way I'm wired. Anybody out there talking about you go double-digit recruit, you're gonna find some leaders is lying to you. Them numbers is dead and gone. Them Art Williams numbers, them back in the day numbers, them are what's called the old school. If you're going to find somebody that's going to play this business at a high level, you now have to go get 20. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to lie to you? Do you want me to sugarcoat it? Or do you want the rules to the game so that you can then go play the game and go to the next level? See, I'm the type of individual, tell me what the rules are, right? Don't tell me that we playing checkers when we really playing chess. And so the new Primerica is, and it's just the way people are wired right now. It's just the way people are thinking right now. It's what people are going and the way they are submitted right now, that it's going to take more people to get the job done. But at least you know. At least you know now, right? Now, what is work in Primerica? A lot of stuff gets talked about. Now, this is an old school statement, but it's very true. Work in Primerica is either being on an appointment, right, or setting an appointment. See, we spend all of our time either setting appointments or being on an appointment. Listen to me now. I'm either on my phone or I'm on my computer. If I'm not on my phone and I'm not on my computer, I'm not working. See, when you're thinking about the business, that ain't work, right? When you listen, I'm sorry. When you're on your phone, it's got to be talking about Primerica. I know y'all on your phone right now. You're on Facebook, you on Instagram, you scrolling, you TikToking. I'm seeing all these people TikToking and dancing and then in videos and doing all this kind of stuff. But dadgummit, are you trying to set an appointment? Are you getting somebody else on the next webinar? Are you following up with your clients so you can get that sorry QBI back to the level it needs to be at? You need to be on your phone being productive instead of being on your phone wasting time. See, there you dialing for dollars. You're dialing for dollars. That has not changed. See, the 2020 activity. What is activity in 2020 per my definition? I believe in 2020, you got 3 things you need to be doing so that you can be productive, so that you can be fruitful, as the scripture says, be fruitful and multiply. What do I need to do? I need to be prospecting. I need to be prospecting. Now, listen, there are 2 ways really for you to prospect. You can prospect face-to-face or you can prospect in the inbox, right? But either way it goes, every single day you need to be prospecting or your business is not going to be changing. Your business is not going to move. You say, well, man, I'm going to work through my new recruits. You ain't got no new recruits. Well, listen, I recruited 3 people last month. Ricky said, listen, they done quit already. They done quit already. You got to keep prospecting. You got to continue to keep the storehouse full. See, if we were in the hunter and gatherer age and we were on the plains of Africa and we go out and kill a deer or we go out and kill a giraffe or whatever, we can't just kill one. We got to kill one, more than one. Why? Because we got to eat tomorrow. So you got to prospect. A part of that is you need to be inboxing, right? Get in those inboxes. That's the modern 2020. If you ain't got hip to that, Joe Ward was one of the ones late to the party. I was late to the party. I was late to the inboxing party till all of you got into everybody in my community's inbox. And I said, wait a minute now, guys, we need to inbox too. If the whole world gonna inbox, we gonna inbox too. So y'all better get in them daggum inboxes in Facebook and Instagram and all of these various things. You better do it. But can you do it compliantly though? I'm just saying, I believe in the company reputation. Can you quit lying to these people about what they coming to see on the webinar? Can you quit lying to these people about what it is we represent? Now, if you're going to do it now, do it right. Don't smear the Primerica name out there. We don't work too hard to get this $120 a share. We don't want it to go down no daggum $50 a share because you in here lying to people in the daggum faith. I'm just saying, Camila didn't tell me to say that, but she said amen. So listen, here's what you got to do, y'all. If you're going to build something here, I'm just checking my time. If you're going to build something here, listen, this is what I'm telling you. I'm talking to the downlines right now and a few RBPs too. Bring the numbers and not the drama. Bring the numbers and don't bring the drama. Save the drama for your mama. See, we ain't got time for that. See, these great leaders is trying to show you how to go from nothing to something. And you fighting us all the way to the bank. See, we're trying to pour into you. George did such an unbelievable job talking about that. And I'm listening, George. I heard everything you were saying. Man, you got to humble yourself. Man, you got to do that. Man, if they judging you, man, dadgum, man, look how God might be judging you. And I'm like, man, God must be judging me because these folks trying my dadgum nerves. But I understand, right? I understand the process, but stop fighting us in the process. See, there's a process for you to go win. See, there's a weaning we've got to do. See, there's some things that got to be cut off on you. See, the thing is that the RVP is the potter and you are the clay. See, the RVP is the potter and you are the clay. Now, here it is. We're trying to get all these imperfections off of you. We're trying to shape you into a regional vice president. We're trying to shape you into a council member. And for all of the daggum clay that falls to the ground, here you are picking it up and putting it back on you. Save the drama. Bring the numbers. Learn how to be an armor bearer to your RVP. See, let me tell you what they used to say about me when it came to Mike Evans' base shop. Let me tell you what they used to say. They said he was a brown noser. Oh, that's he old teacher's pet. Everything Mike say do, he do. Every time Mike needs something, he running. If Mike looked like he was thirsty, if it looked like his voice was cracking a little bit based on him delivering the message, I'm running to the front to give him a daggum glass of water. Do you see what I'm trying to say? If anything that Mike Evans needs, if Mike Evans even had a puzzled look on his daggum face, here came Joe Ward. I made sure I vacuumed the office before the meeting. I made sure I emptied the trash before the meeting. When them other daggum so-called regional leaders were strolling their ass up in there 15 minutes before the meeting, I had already been there for an hour to make sure that the servant things that needed to be done got done. So guess what? Those were seeds that I was planting for the organization that was to come. That's why I had a Ricky Ricardo that was an armor bearer, or a Jeff Mallett, or a Cam Cooper, or a Shake Matthews, and all these great leaders who treated me like royalty inside the daggum base shop, because I did that for Mike Evans. Learn how to be an armor bearer. Never let your daggum leaders' arms fall. See, it is your leader that has the vision that is going to cast you into the future. But if your leader has to carry all the emotional weight, then they can't give you what God is trying to get to you to the next level. I'm wondering who's on here right now that's a division or a regional leader that say they're going to be an RVP, but are they willing to be a foot washer? You see, Jesus Christ was a foot washer. See, the disciples, he took all the disciples. You got to understand now, these folks didn't wear no shoes. At best, they wore some sandals. And the Christ, the Son of God, got down on his knees and washed their feet. You say, well, I ain't willing to do all that for my vice president. And that's why you do not ascend. See, I don't get anything today because I'm lucky. Right. I get everything I have today because of my sacrifices, right? And that's how this thing works, right? See, I believe you've got to work on your leaders. Work on your leaders, work on your field trainers. You hear it said from all the leaders that were inside my base shop. We talked about trained assassins. See, if you hear Jeff Mallard today, you will hear my voice from the base shop. If you hear Ricky Ricardo, you're going to hear my voice from the base shop. I worked on them. I worked on them for years. I didn't just work on their skills. I worked on their mentality. And that is what translated into the great leaders that we have today that are now downlines, that are now second generations and third generations. So you got to continue to work on them if you're going to promote RVPs. Now, this is just for the council members as I close. This is just for fun, just for you. Understand something. 300,000 is not ownership. 300,000 is a number. Ownership is how many RVPs do you have? How many codes do you have? How much assets under management you have? God bless you. This system is unbelievable. Listen to me. This is unbelievable what can happen today in a short period of time. Mika Saunders going to $1 million in 6 years. But that's standing on the shoulders of folks that built something tremendous in a time when we didn't get paid like that. What you got to do is you got to build a business, not just the income. Council members, build a business, not just an income. We're excited about where we are right now and where we're going by the dome. Listen to me. We're going to walk into that dome with a $150,000 base shop. We're going to promote 3 more regional vice presidents, right? And we're going to be making $200,000 a month. This game is tremendous. Work it like it's going away, right? But understand that it probably won't. And you're going to have something tremendous for you and your family.